Welcome to Behind the Smoke, BBQ War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording above the butcher shop with my man Derek Marceau from Valley Farm Market, and we are at episode number 100.
Who would have thought after doing our first podcast that we would have made it to episode 100?
100 is a big deal. It's crazy to think back that in May of 2017, before my son was born, we started the podcast with Fern Semi-Famous Barbecue.
Was it
in the office?
Was it Shane's episode where Shane called it that you were going to have your son that week? I think Shane said, okay, this week you're going to have your son, and it came true.
He was correct, and he had his son the following day. So he had his second son the following day. Yeah, it's crazy to think back that, after 100 episodes, it's 100 weeks of podcasting, and the people that we've been able to meet along this podcasting journey has just been pretty much, very humbling and cool to think that we have friends all over the globe because of this medium.
Cool to hear stories from other people in different positions. Really thankful to get to share those experiences with people and let their voices be heard, because a lot of people don't have that platform to share their stories about what's going on in their life or what's going on in their business or just about how they grew up. And, getting to dive into that and talk to those people, it's been really exciting for me just to get to learn about people. I know you feel the same way, just honored that people would even want to come and sit down and talk with us.
Yeah, for just looking back at it, it's kind of crazy to think that, all these different episodes, all these different people that have given us their time, even the people that we never met, the people that listen to the podcast that might be, care about barbecue, they care about catering, they care about business, but they've been able to hear, what's been going on in our lives for the last 2 years. It's something that's really, really cool. National Barbecue Association, you just got back from Kansas City. How did that go?
It was amazing. It's cool to see all those people again, get to go out there and see, friends that you might only see one time a year, or, get to meet new people that you haven't met before, that, kind of already know you because of listening to the podcast, or, sitting next to Ben from the Confessions up in Australia. And all of a sudden he's like, I recognize that voice, and it's just such an amazing guy. He was awesome. He worked his ass off at that, conference, and really got some good interviews out there. Getting to see Justin again from CW, or CJ Barbecue out in Texas. Dan Sobek headed out there because he's from Kansas City, so he got to see his family, and I was blessed because I don't get out to Kansas very often. It's where I went to college. So when I did get to go out there, I got to spend 2 nights with my best friend out there, Jesse Techuan, and his wife, Christina, and their two daughters. His dad came up, brothers, and, we kind of just got to sit and chat like old times, and just those relationships, you don't realize how much you miss them until you get back out there and like, man, this really just feels like home again. Yeah,
I think that's one of the cool things about annual conferences or barbecue events, or whatever it might be. It forces you on the calendar to pick a time to get to reconnect with people that you care about. And in BBQA, one of the things I watched, Mikey K from Man Meat Barbecue and Ben, they did a Instagram live from in BBQA, and they were talking about Ben's podcasting journey with Smoking Hot Confessions, and how he was so excited that he had won, I don't remember what it was last year, but 4th place or 5th place, and that we had asked him when we were in Fort Worth, we asked him if he wanted to get on and do an Instagram live with us. He fucking runs across, he was at work, he runs across street, and the time difference in Australia, he runs across to like some Best Buy, picks up some fucking headphones just so he specifically could call in, and he talked to me, you, Stover, Yoni, I think Rempe was there. So we had our whole podcast row from Fort Worth, but for him to describe that story and how cool it was for him now this year to make it out to Kansas City, that's something that it means a lot, because I was you and me were both like, you have to come from Australia, Mikey, you got to get out there from Chicago, like
Right.
bringing all these people from all over the world. I felt terrible not being able to make it, but as I've shared on the podcast, Rosie, my wife, is having a tough second pregnancy. She's a trooper, but it was important that I stayed here and be around to help her and help Colleen.
Yeah, we
definitely wished I could have been out there for sure.
We shared that, and everyone was missing you, and sending their love your way. They know you'd want to be there if you could, and getting to see Mikey K and hang out and shoot the shit like with just all those guys. Sterling from Loot and Booty, all those guys. Just seeing them every time is cool, and they just racked up a bunch of awards. And then just sitting there, they're talking about an audio category, and I'm not thinking much of it. I might have been a few beers deep, and indulging a little bit and talking with Dan and bullshitting with Rub Your Meat guys were right behind us, and before you knew it, boom, behind the smoke, first place.
That's
man.
fucking crazy.
It was really, really flattering, and just honored that people would pick us to be the, I guess, number one podcast.
Winner, best audio series, best podcast
in I guess the nation.
Yeah.
And just such a humbling thing to get to talk to people after that, and they could share their stories with us about kind of what's going on and what they felt about the podcast, and different people that are out there that want to be on the podcast and want to share their stories and do stuff and fly out here and really they're just excited about the growth that they see in what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things we've touched on in the last 100 episodes is it's just really allowed us to share what's going on with the West Coast barbecue movement and things that are happening, not just here in San Diego, but Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Jose, Oregon, Washington, Colorado. We've never been guys that care about the best. What's the best, and winning first place. Trust me, it's very humbling, and we're grateful for winning that podcast category. But for us, it's really not about the best. It's how can we get more people podcasting? How can we get more people sharing their barbecue story, their business story? Because a lot of what we talk about wasn't even really about barbecue. We won a barbecue category, but those were, those episodes were submitted just when they were barbecue focused. I mean, we were talking to Mo Cason or Ray Lampy or Mike Mills and Amy Mills from 17th Street Barbecue. We did 3 podcasts from Fort Worth last year, which was really, that was incredible work that Corey Wagner, you were able to pull off publishing those and getting those episodes up. Those were really cool,
I can't even believe we did that. Just looking back at what we did at this NBBQA, doing 3 podcasts while I was there would have been, hard.
A lot of fucking work.
Yeah, and we did it. We did it, and
we taught a class.
Yeah.
And we were so fortunate that whatever we said in the class convinced someone like Malcolm Reed to start his own podcast, How to Barbecue Right. And for us, that's fucking amazing. For somebody that has a voice like he does, that have, 500,000 YouTube subscribers to his barbecue channel, to have him getting into audio is something that it's really exciting, and it's great. It's great for not just podcasters, but for barbecue.
Well, it's great for barbecue because people can start to see guys like Malcolm that really indulge themselves in the process of barbecue, and he's an open book. You go talk to Malcolm and he'll tell you just about anything he can to get you out there doing it, because they talked about it a lot out there, but people think that barbecue is this declining industry, and I think the opposite. I think more people are getting into it and understanding the craft side of it, and we see it here, and I'm sure you see it at Cali Comfort, but people are wanting to bend your ear about what you're doing and how you're doing it and why you're doing it, and the different rubs and spices that we've gotten in and how well they've done just shows how much people want to be into barbecue. And I mean, look, it's wood, it's fire, and it's meat. You can make some pretty rad dishes out of that. So when people start to get it and they love it, it's cool for us to see that we've actually made some type of little impact for this West Coast barbecue movement.
Yeah, it's huge, and part of the cool thing too is the the listeners, the people that have been along. I mean, we've had people that, you know, they maybe just recently started listening, and then there's been people that have been there since we first started this fucking thing. And,
Right.
you know, to think that people like Olav that are in Norway, and, you know, he's a Traeger ambassador and a barbecue ambassador, and, you know, one of our friends, to know that no matter what, whenever he does make it to San Diego, he's going to be welcome like a brother.
Right.
You know, it's humbling. It's humbling, and it's really cool too, because we've been able to see, you know, just through Instagram, through Twitter, through Facebook, not just them interacting with the show, but them showing off what they do, you know, and their unique spin on barbecue, and, you know, what they're doing in their side of the world. I mean, the amount of people in Canada, all over Canada, that listen to the show, it's fucking crazy. Crazy,
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, you hit it. It's humbling. It's exciting. We hope that, you know, we touched you guys in some way for the better, and made your barbecue experience better. If you guys are running a business, hopefully we were able to help you in any way that we could. I know both Sean and I have gotten numerous emails and text messages and stuff, and we respond to all of them. And, you know, we want nothing more than to help and make people better. So hopefully by you guys listening to these last 100 episodes, we in some way, shape, or form were able to pull that off.
Yeah. Any of the any memorable guests that you
know, I think they all have their you know, special places. I loved having Brody in here. Brody came in here yesterday.
Oh man,
Brody was in a skiing accident, and from Brody's Burgers and Beer, and he, you know, is having a hard go. He broke his spine, and you know, he's getting around, and you know, he has to wear a big brace, and you know, someone so close to me and my family and Sean, it's really hard to see him struggle, because he's such a warrior. But getting to share that with him and Beth coming in here, and Beth is just, you know how much I love Beth. So just having them in here, and they came in yesterday and just talked, and you know, that was for me something cool, because I felt we might have, you know, been able to give them a little platform to talk about something that they're so passionate about, and, you know, it's bringing good burgers out there to East County.
Yeah, and I think, you know, one of the, as much as people talk shit about social media, one of the coolest things about social media is that people can see how much that family means to East County, not just East County, but just to San Diego in general. The outpouring of love on Facebook for Brody, and, you know, hoping that he's getting back and getting through his recovery. I mean, he's just, he epitomizes all the things that we love. I mean, he's just such a great man, a great leader, great father, loves his business. He's true to his word. He's out there skiing, you know, something that I could easily be doing. And, you know, we wish he has a great recovery. And hopefully he knows how much he is loved.
Yeah. There's definitely not a lack of love for him. You know, he's just going to have to kind of get used to the way that things are going, and hopefully, you know, he's never going to stop trying to get fully recovered, and I hope that happens for him. But you know, and I also loved you know, Ari Siegel, man. God, if I didn't fucking learn more on that episode, then I think I learn more from him every time I sit down with him than anybody I know. You know, the way he can articulate certain things is incredible. I can't do it. I can't. I know I can't speak that eloquently. See, but he's just, you know, an amazing guy doing amazing things, and for the right reasons. So for those are two that, you know, kind of stand out for me. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, just Ari Siegel, just to touch on him, is be able to get him on the podcast meant so much to me, because he had such an impact the short time that he was here in San Diego, bringing the San Diego Gulls here and bringing Cali Comfort, an unknown barbecue restaurant in East County, in as one of their main sponsors. You know, he just has so much to offer, and he's going to do such big things in this world. You know, now in the esports domain, we're really excited to see where he's going to go. But I mean, there's just been so many cool stories that, like the Yard Pirates, watching guys that
Yar.
watching guys that we love and that have supported our Spring Valley Barbecue Festival and our Del Mar Barbecue Championship. They're going to be out in Coachella now. They got an opportunity to go out there.
They told me about that.
Vend some beef ribs, which sounds like a barbecue war story.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to have some stories from that, but guys like Yard Pirates, having Tabitha Lipkin on, somebody from Fox 5 that, San Diego's not going to be able to contain her. She's going to go off to do some big, incredible things. Other podcasters, Dave and Jeff, Jim Trotter. Those are all
Sam the Cooking Guy.
God, Sam the Cooking Guy is just, both of his episodes were probably two of the
They might have been
best.
two of our best performing ones, too.
I think so,
It might be because of his fucking following, but...
and then, of course, having people like Gene Goykache, Arlie Bragg, and especially Randy Gill, being able to spend that time with Randy, about a week before he passed away to talk about barbecue and charity and the things that are important in life that are outside of money. Those are episodes that I'll definitely always remember for sure.
Yeah, those are big. Those are heavy ones because those people mean so much to us. Having Gene is such a great mentor, and Arlie, and of course Randy. It's great that I hope that his family can look back at that and get to listen to those. I don't know if they have many recordings of him and what he did, but and we have a ton of fun ones. Mo Cason coming in here drinking a 6-pack in 15 minutes, and
yes,
I really enjoyed every guest we had on here. I would tell you too if I felt like we didn't really get a lot out of a guest on one of our podcasts, and everyone just kind of had their own little story and they were excited to tell. I mean, thinking about Jack, going through his Blue Lagoon stuff and
opening Blue Lagoon, closing Blue Lagoon.
It's so those are things that are kind of forever now. They can look back and listen to what they did. Sometimes me personally, I forget a lot of stuff. I will be with people. Even when I was out in Kansas, I met up with some guys that haven't seen in a long time, and they're telling me stories about what I used to do, and it took me a few minutes to like holy shit, I did do that,
But he's back in college.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We tend to forget those a little bit easier, than the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, but it's those things that we have here that are recorded will live forever.
Absolutely. And I think, for us, it's important that we're always transparent, with our listeners. That's really one of the reasons we started Behind the Smoke and BBQ War Stories. And, for us, it's been an incredible ride, the last 2 years, and especially, for me with my son and then my daughter, Derek having his third child, and getting to the point where we're both at different stages of our careers, and we're really getting to the point where I'm going to be focusing a lot more on Cali Comfort, and Derek's going to be focusing on getting his store open in La Jolla. We've come to the realization that both of us are better supporting each other's brands. We always talk about a rising tide lifts all ships. I think what we've learned is a rising tide lifts all separate ships. I've always supported Derek and love his family and love his brand. And I think, it's been a realization that it's going to be the best if, I can support him from the outside, building his store in La Jolla. And I know La Jolla is just so blessed and so lucky to be able to have a leader like that coming in there.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate the way you said that. And it's, sometimes hard realizations. I think we both wanted something really, really bad, but had to kind of look and be honest with each other and, being transparent. We had some really extremely hard times and extremely hard conversations and, some rough patches. And, I'm happy that we are able to do this and continue to move forward, because like I told you last time we sat down and talked, there's never going to be a day that I don't support you. and I'm going to continue to do that.
Yeah, I think, it would have been, if we didn't do this 100th episode, if we didn't sit down and, kind of let our listeners know what was going on in our lives, and I kind of feel like we would have been bullshitting. It is Behind the Smoke, it is BBQ War Stories, and going into business is not easy, no matter what business that is, whether that's events or podcasting or opening up another location. And one of the most important things you can do is to be open and honest, no matter how painful that is. And, one of the things that Derek and I are grateful for is that we've had so many people that support us, support this podcast, support the events, support our brands, giving us a platform to be able to get to where we are, to win fucking best barbecue podcast. I mean, that's it. You would never think that somewhere in Spring Valley we could be, winning an award, a nationally recognized award. That's truly humbling. We're truly grateful for. We have so many people that we have to thank too for this journey. Jet West. That jingle.
Darren, man, coming through with that jingle. I hit him up and said, "Hey, dude, I need to get an intro for this podcast." And me and Sean have had him play at our events before, and to be quite honest, I thought it was going to come back completely different because they're more of a ska band. So when I told him, he's like, "I think I can do it." And then he came back with that, and I'm like, "That's fucking rad." And I think we both enjoyed it. It was a little bit different, and we got to run with it. So it's the people that we have in our town and that love us and want to support us, and he did that for us was rad.
Yeah, I mean, we have, George Recoy, who we've had on the podcast. He talked about, the importance of logos and your brand, and he created the Behind the Smoke logo for us. His partner, Marco Castillo, who helped us in the very beginning when we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We still really don't know what we're doing, but helped us with at least getting recording equipment, microphones, sat down with me and Corey and Derek, and, I mean, just basically showed us what they were doing and was there as a resource, which... that's really the thing that we've learned the most through this digital marketing podcasting journey is like, you just never know who's out there and willing to help you with whatever your dreams are, whatever your hopes are. If you want a podcast, trust me, there's a resource. You can Google it. You can ask Siri. You can check on YouTube. You can DM us. We're not going anywhere. Cali Comfort Barbecue. We're here in Spring Valley Farm Market here in Spring Valley, anchors in this San Diego West Coast barbecue movement. Everything that we're doing, we're going to continue to be promoting the growth of barbecue, promoting that people should be podcasting, people should be talking more, they should be, using all the tools they can digitally to grow their brand. Corey Wagner, a special shout out, been here for 100 fucking episodes. We haven't even woo.
Thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Corey.
You'll never know how much it means to us, man.
Yeah, it's hard to thank somebody that was here from the inception, from whiteboard and all, when we're sitting there chalking it up and
trying to figure out our name.
What the fuck?
Remember that?
We do have to give a shout out to Eric, my general manager, he was supposed to be on the podcast, but I guess according to him, I didn't beg him enough to get on it, but he can go fuck himself. But he had some good original ideas. But yeah, Corey, the amount of work that, I've extended to you, plus Cali Comfort, plus Behind the Smoke, plus Valley Farm, plus all the other clients that you've been helping. Derek and I are truly grateful, and I know the Behind the Smoke listeners are too. Brian, you were added to the team. We're very grateful because a lot of the times, as Corey expanded his business, there were times where we needed you to come and step in and, just be able to record so we can get that publishing schedule out. And I know both of you gentlemen are going to have incredible careers. And I know that anybody that's listening, that you guys are a resource for them. And obviously you're very easy to find on the internet through Behind the Smoke. But, it's crazy. It's crazy to look back. Most of the times you don't look back on a project and walk out winning the Super Bowl. Right. But walking out winning the Super Bowl is kind of a cool way to go out.
Yeah. I mean, it's one way to go out for sure. I never thought that that's how it was going to be, but here we are, and so you guys know this will be the final episode of Behind the Smoke, and who knows what the future holds. There could be something that happens, and me and Sean can talk about that later, and once we kind of figure out what we got going on in our lives and making sure that our priorities are all intact. You never know, there might be a time to do another 100 episodes sometime down the line, but right now, as of April 9th, 2019, we thank you guys.
We love you guys. Thank you for listening. We truly appreciate it. And we're not going anywhere. So keep following Valley Farm Market. Keep following Cali Comfort. Keep interacting. We love you. We're grateful. We hope to see you at the barbecue events and at the butcher shop and barbecue restaurant. We appreciate you.